I do not know if you are aware of how fragile the Republic is at the moment. Its influence is stretched thin, and it grows weaker with time. Still, there is hope, and I must remind myself of it, even when times grow dark. As long as we hold Onderon and Telos, then perhaps we have a chance. The Republic is fragile right now. Telos is important because its success will determine whether or not the other dead worlds receive the same reconstruction efforts. If Telos is rebuilt and made habitable again, it will affect a string of worlds along the rim. Onderon, strangely enough, was unaffected by the Jedi Civil War. It's almost as if Revan didn't want to attack it. Its resources and position on the rim make it a vital supply line and guard post against outer rim attacks. Also, it's the only world in the Republic still capable of seeding ecosystems into other dead worlds. Onderon's wildlife is some of the most aggressive in the known galaxy. Merely placing some of those beasts on target worlds will guarantee their habitation for years to come. There are many factors. Aside from protecting Telos and Onderon, we need a rallying force. We need the Jedi, even if they are just figureheads. That is why I traveled to Dantooine, to find some trace of them. The Jedi are a symbol. As much damage as their reputation took during the Sith War and the Jedi Civil War, there are still many who they serve as an example. Plus, there have been times in the past where a single Jedi has been enough to change the face of a world, or a galaxy. I suppose I still believe that might be possible. Despite the betrayal of many of the Jedi against the Republic, I must concede that as figureheads, they do serve a vital role. Dantooine was one of the few Republic worlds on the Outer Rim. It is why the Republic is attempting to get the settlement up and running. Dantooine is within reach of several other Rim worlds, and the Republic will need it as a resupply post if they are to keep a presence on the Rim. The Jedi Civil War brought much suffering to the galaxy, and the forces that Malak and Revan amassed against us seemed limitless. Many worlds were destroyed, trade routes disrupted, and the Republic fleet was almost decimated. While it is said that Revan and several Republic heroes and Jedi defeated Malak, in many ways Malak had already won. The war was costly, and it shattered the Republic. In time, the Republic might recover, but if a threat strikes now, if certain key worlds are not held, then the Republic will collapse. Telos, Onderon, Dantooine. Without them, the Republic will either die slowly or quickly by fire. It is strange that someone who went to war against the Mandalorians would disregard the damage the fall of the Republic could cause. Of course, if you sought battle for its own sake, then perhaps I could understand your disregard. Yes, to some perhaps. Yet the Sith have already experienced their own collapse, and I suspect their new tactics are proof of that. There was no Sith leader since Revan who has survived long enough to rule. Even Malak turned on Revan and caused his own downfall. The Sith respect order and control, that is true, but few of them seem ever able to hold that power for long. To see their philosophy at work is like watching a continual collapse, just like watching their academy fall in on itself. It would not be freedom for many. There would be economic collapse, followed by starvation and war. Perhaps it would eventually stabilize after many years, but many would suffer and die unnecessarily. Of course you do not, but perhaps one day you will, and I hope for that day. I see the Mandalorian Wars left their mark. Perhaps the Mandalorians won after all, just as they defeated Revan with their philosophy of slaughter. Then it only becomes a question of how much blood is worth the price, how many dead are worth such an ideal, and if that same independence could be achieved without battle. I do not claim that I am correct, only that I do not wish to see others suffer needlessly when the freedoms could be achieved another way. The Republic is in need of change, I do not deny it, but I do not believe it deserves death, or worse. Does that mean that all who would die if the Republic collapsed also would not deserve to survive? I see. Have you ever been in a situation where you are dependent on another? You could not have won the Mandalorian Wars alone. In fact, I doubt you would have survived if you had not others to stand with you. Where are they now? Now that you stand here and they are gone. Did they deserve to die? Did you deserve to live dependent on them as you were? I think we are done speaking for the time being. This discussion has been too enlightening, I feel. That is my thought. The Republic is not without its flaws, but it is preferable to anarchy. Without supply lines and a standing military, the chaos that would result would be greater than the Mandalorian Wars.